Hello everyone, thank you for listening and watching. My name is Nefertiti and you can find my information in the description box below. So I got a channeled message this morning and it kind of came in bits and pieces, so I hope that it makes sense. So as I mentioned in the last energy update, February is a month where a lot of heart chakra energy is being activated. And this is kind of a wild card energy because the heart can be holding on to a lot of love or a lot of pain. So all of this is being stimulated right now. And one of the things that came to me was asking yourself, when it comes to relationships, the ones that are questionable in nature, why don't you just decide to move on? You know, God, Spirit, is not the author of confusion. There shouldn't be any type of doubt as to whether or not the relationship that you have with this person has integrity. People have issues. People have problems. I'm not talking about the occasional disagreement. But if you're questioning the very foundation of a relationship, then it's time to move forward. Well, the Leo full moon is approaching and Leo rules the heart. So really take some time this weekend to examine your heart and ask yourself, what am I connecting to that is giving me life or giving me death? And whatever comes up, be willing to do the work involved if it's necessary to release people or situations or things. Remember, we have relationships with everything, not just people. So this might be challenging energy to deal with, but we're light warriors. We shouldn't be afraid of challenges. At this point in the game, maybe a little bit of anxiety comes up, but we know that there's always a seed of opportunity and challenge. It's always all good. It might not be all good in the moment as far as whatever you're dealing with physically in the 3D. But remember that everything is here for our soul growth. So don't be afraid of challenges, especially when it comes to relationships. We have to stay focused on the work that we're doing here as light workers, as light warriors. Relationships are wonderful. Relationships are necessary. We're built to connect to other people. But we also have to maintain our sovereignty. So if you are in a situation where you are being energetically drained, where you are being distracted, then it's time to move on. Period. And some of us have been in situations like this for a very long time. And it's done nothing but hinder our progress because we've been afraid to be alone. And you can't be afraid to be alone on this journey. I mean, it's lonely at the top. We know that. We know that. The path is narrow and few are those who choose to travel on it. So not everybody's going to be able to come with you into this new phase of your life, into this new cycle, into this new level of soul evolution. And it's very sad sometimes. It's heartbreaking because these could be people in your family, your bloodline. These could be people that you've known for 20 or 30 years. But it's time to move on. And we always have a choice. We always have a choice. Are we going to move forward or remain stuck in the fear? It's as simple as that. And don't be afraid of things being difficult, right? You have everything that you need to handle anything that comes up in your life. Now, yes, you have your moment, okay? When something happens, you get that emotional release. You cry, you get angry, whatever you have to do. But know that that is just one part of the process. Okay, you release the emotion and then you look for the seed of opportunity. You call on your angels and guides and ask for help. And I don't really appreciate it when people say, "Oh, you should call on help. That should be the first thing you do." I mean, come on. We're human beings. We're emotional, right? Our first reaction is going to be emotional. And it's okay. Like, we don't need to feel bad about that, right? If we don't call on our angels and guides right away, they're still with us. We're still connected to them. But we do make sure that we ask for their help. Once we've gotten past that emotional upheaval, then you call on them, because then you're more clear. You can hear clearly, right? Remember that dark energy feeds off of your emotion. So I would even assert that if you're calling for help while you're in a state of emotional crisis, you might actually be channeling negative energy just because they feed off of that. Best believe they come into the party, right? If you're a mess. So give yourself some time to get yourself together, and then you sit down, take a few breaths, and call on your spirit guides for help. How can I mend this relationship? Or if it's time for me to walk away, give me the strength to do that. Give me the guidance and the wisdom to do that. Because you can't do it on your own. 9 times out of 10, when you're trying to leave a relationship that's been highly emotionally toxic, that you've been courted to for a long time, that's hard. That's hard. I read somewhere that it takes an empath sometimes at least 7 attempts to leave a narcissist. No matter what this person has done to them, no matter how horrible this person has been to them, it could take at least 7 times. Right? Abusive relationships are very emotionally manipulative. So it takes time. So be patient with yourself. Have compassion for yourself. But if you know that it's time for you to move forward, then you start that process. And it is a process. And it's going to be painful. But you do what you need to do. Because this is your soul evolution on the line. This is your life purpose on the line. And best believe there have been people sent to throw you off of your path. That's why it's so important for us as light workers to really examine the company that we're keeping, and don't get attached to any type of labels or ties that you believe you have to this person because they're in your bloodline or because you've known them for 30 plus years. Your loyalty first and foremost should be to yourself, and then to your seed, your children. And even when your children get grown, if they are acting in such a way that is distracting you from your purpose or causing you to move into a space of negativity, then you'd have to detach from them too. But we're responsible for them, of course, until they get to be that age. So the bottom line is, if it's time to get out of a situation, then it's time. And know that your angels and guides, your spirit team, they're always here to help you, support you, guide you, comfort you. You're never alone, right? God said he would never leave us or forsake us. So we're never alone. But it could get hard sometimes. Just know that too. All right? So thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll speak to you again soon. Namaste.